How can leaders create a culture where people, partners, or the whole ecosystem aren't afraid to grow tall?
One of the areas that I've recognized for myself over the years is when I am not showing up in an authentic and vulnerable space, then I have to think about what that looks like for my team. And if I can't show up demonstrating my fears, my failures, my uncertainty, my voice, then they're going to look at me and think, okay, Angela, this is what leadership is supposed to look like. Like, she's not going to be feeling these ways, or she's always going to be like delivering this message with a state of everything's fine. And what I've
Mm,
come to learn, Martin, and there was a time probably about a year ago where I was really struggling, and there was a lot going on at work, and there was a change that had taken place, and I came onto a team call and I talked them through it, and I shared not just the information that they needed to know, the key message, but I also shared what was going on for me. And that's not something that it takes me a moment to get comfortable in being that level of vulnerability. Trust me, I recognize that I'm vulnerable, and I recognize that people tell me constantly, Angela, I really appreciate that you do this and you open up and you share, but it takes courage for me to do that. It's not actually easy, and I'm trying to do the practice more and more so it becomes easier, because I've gotten the message from so many people that it helps them. But back to the story, in this particular moment, I am being vulnerable and I start getting emotional on the call, and I'm sharing just the reality of my world, because I'm dialed into my camera, my view of the world. Nobody else is, right? So the team's not going to understand that. And that was an important call for me in dialogue, because I've had people say, Angela, your ability to be honest and to share this type of reality with us makes me feel like I can talk to you about some of the pieces that are really bothering me, or that I'm trying to find the courage to open up and talk through. As a leader, I have a title. I have to remind myself and ground myself in what that reality is for people that I interact with on a day-to-day basis. And I probably need to do a little bit of a better job being more mindful of that on my day-to-day. But in creating that vulnerability and just showing that, yeah, I have this title, but I am still a human being, just trying to figure out my job and trying to figure out how to work with people and how to go through the motions. And don't let my title stop you from thinking that we don't share similar challenges here. It's just the emotions, the fears, the angers, the frustrations, the joy, the happiness. We all experience those same emotions, but the surrounding of what brings those emotions out in us is unique. So can we connect and understand that, yeah, okay, Angela has experienced fear. I'm experiencing fear. I've seen her now as a leader navigate that from a state of fear. Can I go talk to her and have a conversation so that I can maybe get some new information of how to move through this moment of fear? And I think that's what really helps people to grow, right? To keep growing, to feel like they can truly trust that they can be human, and that human experience is messy and it is growing and nobody's perfect, and there's always something going on. So I think that's what helps. And as a leader, that's what has worked well for me.